on this channel I've already made a couple of reactions to NFL. I've honestly loved them. Just look so action-packed, so exciting, and just an awesome sport. I'm a huge sports fan. My real love is soccer. That's my life. Everything about my life is focused on soccer, but I'm very open-minded and I love learning about different sports. After watching these first couple of videos on NFL, I just really want to kind of throw myself into it and become a fan of it. I'll definitely be picking a team, so recommend some teams or who I should support. But before I do any more reactions, I wanted to actually just learn about the game itself. So today I'm going to be looking at this video. It's called The Rules of American Football Explained NFL. And yeah, so I want to watch matches, I want to watch highlights and stuff, but there's no point in me doing that if I don't actually know the rules of the game, which I don't. I really know very little about it, and yeah, I'm just so excited to learn about this. So let's watch this and
explains the rules of American football. The object of the game is for your team to score more points than the opposing team. Teams are made up of 46 players in the NFL, with 11 players taking to the field at any one time.
Okay, already sorry to stop. So 46 players in a team. So 46 players are actually at the match. So it's like in soccer, which I'll maybe compare some things to soccer because that's what I love, but in soccer, like the squad that goes to a match is, I think, like sometimes 15 players up to 18. This has got a huge amount of players.
Teams are made up of 46 players in the
46
NFL,
players
with 11 players taking to the field at any one time. The field is 100 yards long by 53 yards wide, with two 10-yard end zones at each end. White markings on the field help players, referees and spectators keep a track of what's going on. The game starts with a kickoff. The team with possession of the ball is known as the offense, and the team without the ball is the defense.
Okay. So that's again like when you look at American football compared to soccer. In soccer we have like a couple of different positions. So we have goalkeeper, defense, midfield and attack. So here it looks a bit more simplified. It's just offense and defense. I'm sure within that it's like got different tactics and each player has a different role, so maybe that will tell me about that, but please tell me about the different roles that each player can kind of contribute to the team.
The job of the offense is to move the ball up the field and try and score points. This can be done by either running forwards with the ball or by throwing it up the field for a teammate to catch. The offense is given 4 chances, or 4 downs, to make at least 10 yards.
Okay, so 4 downs to make 10 yards. So they get 4 attempts to get forward. So they have to get by a certain point within four tries. Is that what it is basically?
If the offense manages to move the ball 10 yards or more, they will retain possession of the ball, whilst given another 4 downs to make another 10 yards.
Okay, so it can just keep going and going every 10 yards. Sometimes then I guess they must just throw it and that must make up a huge amount of distance, but sometimes it must be like 10 yards, 10 yards, 10 yards. It could probably go for quite long one offensive attack, I think.
On your TV screen you will see this graphic. This tells you what down the team is on, and this tells you how many yards they need to make.
Oh, okay,
if you're also watching this on TV, they will also show you the lines they need to cross in order to make their downs.
Oh, cool, man.
The defense's job is to stop the offense moving the ball forwards by tackling. This includes pulling them to the...
Yeah, look at this as well. This is what
defense's job.
This is one thing that interests me about American football. Where do you see this?
Moving the ball forwards by...
Look at the amount of different players who have all got a different task here, man. It's so it seems like, okay, the quarterback, I know obviously the quarterback, he'll throw it to a player and they'll try and catch, but it seems so strategic. Like, how do they determine like where every single player goes? Because it must be pretty precise runs so that the quarterback knows where to throw it to. Do they already pre-plan? Does he think, okay, I'm going to throw it to this guy before the actual play takes place? He knows who he's going to play it to? Or does he just take it as it comes and sees, okay, this guy seems in a better position, so maybe I'll throw it to him? Is it pre-planned, or is it just on the hop, basically?
By tackling. This includes pulling them to the ground, stopping them from moving forward, or forcing them off the field.
Okay.
If the offense fails to move the ball 10 yards within 4 downs, the ball is given to the defending team at that point.
Okay.
The defending team will then bring on their offensive players and try and move the ball in the opposite direction so that they can score.
Okay, so they literally swap a whole team off to like their offensive side come off the field, then the defence go on the field. That's quite interesting as well. They like really change your whole team, so it's like two teams playing for each team during a match, if that makes sense.
You'll most likely see the offense kick the ball away on 4th down to make it more difficult for the other team to score.
Okay.
Teams will usually have 3 different units of 11 players that come on the field at different times. They include the offense. These players will usually come on the field when they have possession of the ball. The offensive unit consists of these positions.
Well, look at all these positions actually. I have this, yeah, okay, man. So you can tell me in the comments what makes a good player in each of these positions. Obviously the quarterback for me is like something that's very well known. You always hear it in American movies and things. It's like the quarterback's like the main man about school or about the team. It's like he's the leader type thing, but I really don't know anything about the other positions. I think the wide receiver sounds like obviously they're probably the person who catches the ball. If that maybe not actually, you can tell me in the comments.
The quarterback is the most important player on the field, as he's the one who decides to pass the ball up the field, hand it off to a teammate so that they can run with it, or decide to run with it himself. These offensive line positions are usually responsible for protecting the quarterback. The wide receivers are responsible for running down the field to catch the ball thrown by the quarterback. The tight end is responsible for blocking and also catching the ball in the middle of the field. And the running back and fullback is responsible for running with the ball up the field.
Whoa, okay, cool.
The defense. These players will usually come on the field when the other team has the ball. The defensive unit consists of these positions.
Oh, look at this, man. It's actually... I was saying that comparing it to soccer has like midfield, like goalkeeper, defence, midfield, attack, compared to just offence and defence, but this has a lot more positions. This is crazy to look at for me. It's like really a lot more technicality than soccer, a lot more different positions and different roles in the team.
The defensive line is responsible for moving past the offensive line. The linebackers stop running backs coming through the defensive line, and they're also responsible for attacking the quarterback. The cornerbacks try and stop the wide receivers, and the safeties try and stop the pass up the middle of the field. Special teams. Special teams are specialist players that come on the field when there's a kick involved. Within the special teams is a mixture of offensive and defensive players, mixed with either a punter or kicker for offense, or a punt returner for defense. Now you know what all the players do and how the game is.
So yeah, I remember there was like, I think it's Harry Kane, the Spurs player, said that he would love to become a kicker or something like that. That must be quite an interesting role if there's only one person in the team that does that. That's a lot of pressure on that player. Like all these other players have their teammates around them, but if there's like one kicker that comes on, it's like he's the only guy that can do that. It's like so much pressure, I feel.
Or a punt returner for defense. Now you know what all the players do and how the game is played. But how do you score? In American football, there's 4 different ways of scoring. Number 1, a touchdown. The main way of scoring is via a touchdown. If the ball is carried into the end zone area, or thrown and caught in the end zone, this is a touchdown and is worth 6 points. Unlike in rugby, you don't need to touch the ball down onto the ground. All you have to do is cross the line with the nose of the ball to score. Number 2, extra points. Once a touchdown has been scored, you have the option of kicking it through the uprights for an extra point, or try and pass or run the ball into the end zone for an extra 2 points. Most teams play it safe and go with the 1 point. Number 3, field goal. At any time, the team with the ball can kick the ball between the posts and over the crossbar. To do this, they must hand it to a teammate who will hold it down to the ground, ready for the kicker to make.
Oh, that looks so exciting itself, just as a sort of play. See all the opposition just running, just everybody's trying to dive and get the ball, man. That's quite cool, but that's so far out. That's almost like in the other half, actually. That must be like, is that normal to kick it from so far away?
Make a kick.
Very accurate.
A successful kick scores 3 points. Number 4, a safety. If the defense tackles an offensive player behind his own goal line, the defending team scores 2 points. The game is played in 4 15-minute quarters for a combined playing time of 60 minutes. Highest score at the end of 60 minutes wins. Ties are rare in American football, and overtime periods are played if necessary to determine the winner. Different leagues have different rules about tie games. Is that it? Is that all I need to know? Well, you're almost there, but American football is filled with lots of rules, and you'll need to understand a few more of them before playing or watching a game. For example, fumble. If a ball carrier drops the ball, that's a fumble. Any player on the field can recover the ball by diving onto it. The team that recovers a fumble gets possession of the ball. Interception. An aggressive defense can regain possession of the ball by catching or intercepting passes that are meant for players on the other team.
Nice.
Both fumble recoveries and interceptions can be run back into the end zone for touchdowns.
Wait, what is that? Like, that's one thing I've seen on the clips before. What is it they're actually throwing on the
Fumble
field here?
recoveries and interceptions can be run back into the end zone.
These little flag things here. What is this? Why are they doing that? Is it when they see a foul or something, then they throw that on to kind of determine to tell the referee or whoever it is that there's a foul there or something's happened? And what do you think about the rules in NFL? In soccer, the rules change all the time, so we're always trying to keep up to date with all these rule changes like offside and things like that. It can be quite annoying to try and follow everything. Do the rules change a lot in NFL?
Zone for touchdowns. Sack. If the defense tackles a quarterback whilst he has possession of the ball, this is known as a sack. This is detrimental to the offense as a down is wasted, and this usually results in a loss of yards.
Okay, that was quite fun, man.
Incomplete pass. If a pass intended to a receiver hits the ground first or is thrown out of bounds, this is ruled an incomplete pass. A down is wasted and play restarts from the spot of the last down.
Okay.
Penalty. If a player breaks one of the rules, referees will throw flags onto the field.
That's
They
what I
will
wanted to
determine
do.
who made the foul and how many yards his team should be penalised. Challenge. If a coach disagrees with the decision on the field, they can throw red flags onto the field. The previous play will then be reviewed, and if the challenge is successful, the ruling on the field is reversed. If the challenge is unsuccessful and the ruling on the field stands, they forfeit one timeout.
Well, that's kind of like VAR in football, but a bit different. You don't get timeouts and things like that. So that actually would create some excitement, I think, in the game.
Timeout. If a team wants to stop the clock to regroup, take a break, or discuss strategy, they are allowed 3 timeouts per half. Each timeout lasts 60 seconds, and players get a break of 12 minutes at half time.
Okay.
Now this is a lot to take in, but once you start playing or watching American football, the rules will become clear. If you found this video at all helpful, please like, share with your friends, rate, comment and subscribe. It takes me ages to make one of these things, and good karma is very much appreciated. Be sure to follow me on Twitter also, but in the meantime, enjoy American football.
Yeah, that seems awesome. I think it's funny that the person who produced this video was actually British, talking about American football, but love that, man. Seems so exciting. It's good to get a better understanding of this sport. Just the kind of basics and things like that. I'm sure there's a lot more to learn. Really looking forward to this journey of learning about NFL, also some other American sports as well, man. I'm just going to throw myself into it on this channel, learn as much as I can, see as much action as I can. But I feel like it'll be a good opportunity now just to watch a match and try and learn a bit more. So tell me if there's anything else I should know. Thanks.